Riding around.
They're gonna try to
Riding around.
Here's the copy you should sign. For that.
last month. All this.
And then here's the rest of your things. Back there, Steve's, for that. If you want to use that yet.
Well, I need to sign this with bronze.
Right, and I've got that in there. I put it in so it can go after the ones that are. So that would be in the CCMG.
Okay.
It's not like
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would everybody rise for the
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's do a roll call. All board members are present, Meredith Trustee, and Jerry Huff, along with our clerk, Monica Gray, and Jeff Alton. Everyone is present. Our attorney is not present this evening. So we will start with the meetings. Minutes from the prior meeting have been passed out and distributed. Is there any questions, remarks, or concerns? No. All right. Do I have a motion to approve last month's meeting minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from our last meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Approve the meeting minutes. All right. Fire department report. Terry?
We've had 126 runs for the year as of yesterday. We got breakfast coming up Saturday morning, 7 to 11. And in September, the 19th and the 20th is our chicken barbecue. That's all I got.
What was the date again?
19th and the 20th.
19th and 20th of September?
Yes, sir.
Have you guys hit the trailer place up for your donation yet?
No, thanks, sir. I ain't got there yet.
Probably ought to do that so he's got plenty of time this year.
I know. I know. That's on my list to do.
So he promised us something last year.
That's right.
Didn't have time to do it, so. 126 runs.
Yeah.
Next up, ordinance enforcement report.
Yeah. We did have a couple of the non-compliance come in, pay their fines. I think that was a couple, 3 weeks ago. The 402 property, if you haven't been by there, after all this time, they finally got that property cleaned up. 230 Westwood, they have, since the State Board of Health, I reported that property to the State Board of Health for the Putnam County Board of Health. There's been some activity down there that brought up where they got rid of some of those cars that was sitting there not registered. But the property still looks bad. I'll call the Board of Health tomorrow and update when they gave them, when their deadline was finished. And I see Mr. Trimmel's here. I brought him a ordinance violation fine, thumbtacked it to his door, and, so that's where we're at.
Have you heard anything on the signs?
I'm sorry?
Have you heard anything on the signs?
No, they sent me back that they're gonna ship them here, and then once they're received, then, that's when she'll get the bill and notice from the bill. I'll check with them again tomorrow. Seemed like to me, she told me that it took 10 days to 2 weeks to manufacture them, and then a few days after that, so.
Good. All right, old business, stormwater grant, we are still, dealing with that. We've got a few issues, we've got a final bill that we are going to hold. There's, a few of the, storm drains that are not in elevation, that are higher than the road. So, we're dealing with a few of those things, so we're gonna hold their check, until we can, make sure everything is complete. So that is in hold, on that process. But as far as the flow and everything, they're 90% done, but there's a few issues that we've gotta, have repaired before we can let them out here. And, the, CCMG update, that is the sidewalk project in the street. They started today, they're only 14 days behind schedule, so that's actually pretty good for what we've been dealing with, but, so they started pouring the sidewalks today. It looks like they're gonna move at a pretty decent rate. It looked good to me. So hopefully they'll be in and out on the sidewalk side within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, and then get from the railroad track north end of town to Cemetery Street paved by the end of the month, hopefully, right in there. So hopefully we'll get a smooth road on that end of town. It's been a while, and I know everybody's, Jerry's been out trying to fill the holes with rock, so it's been a little bit of a struggle for everybody, but once you deal with grants and all the issues, it's a long process. I do have a paper for CCMG on that I need to sign, I believe, for WHC. WHC, it's our engineering firm that we need to sign for that. It's a memorandum of agreement for their services, for them to design and everything, and I need to get that signed. That their bill is not to exceed $8,600 in time and materials. So I would need a motion to approve that to get them everything paid.
I make the motion that we do take a sign off on that.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. So. And that, this engineer so far seems to be on top of it. Inspector. We actually called him at 6 o'clock last night because we had a situation that we didn't understand where something was going. He came out here, handled it, fixed it, so, that was kind of nice to have that kind of response.
Yeah. Really sounds good.
All right, that was that. New business, would be our 2025 budget.
2026.
2026,
That's my typo.
Obviously I'm reading.
It is my typo.
2026 hearing budget. This will be our budget for the town for the year. I think there's copies up there if anybody wanted a copy. But basically, I'm gonna go over, the nuts and bolts of where we're spending our money and where we're looking. In our general fund for the year, our estimate of spending is $70,960. Our local road and street budget, we have 15,000. So people that don't know, we normally, if we're getting a road done or whatever, we're getting grants for that. We don't have the money to do it. We need the government's help for that. So, but that's where most of these big projects come from. So our allowance is about 15,000 a year for our local, and that pays for repairs onto the roads as well as plowing and all kinds of stuff, salt and everything. Motor vehicle highway is another 23,200. And then our edit, which I don't even know what's.
Economic development, income tax.
What we get for income tax is $25,000 a year. And then public safety and local income tax, we get $10,000 a year. For a total of $144,160. So that is our budget. And if anybody wants a copy, it goes down through the line items of what we actually spend it on and what we're planning to spend for the year. I won't bore you to death with all the details of this, but they're out here and anybody's welcome to them.
Where's this money derived from? The
Those
funding
are-
is what,
Those funds are all property tax dollars and
income tax,
income tax dollars
permit,
that we receive from the state and from the county.
and like from.
Directly.
We register our vehicles and stuff.
That's
like that.
correct. For the wheel tax, that surtax, that extra little charge on there, if we live in town, we do receive a portion of that every month. So, and it varies month to
I was
month
gonna say, it's,
because
10,000 is kind of low, because I know each check, they take about $67, Putnam County does. You guys ain't getting very much.
we don't receive that much money from overall from the state. And a lot of that is also based on our population count.
But I was talking about the income tax for Putnam County.
I-
You should be getting a portion of that.
I understand what you're saying, but it's all mostly set with how many people that we have here. And that's how the state and the county basis, how much they give us, what we're allotted. With that being said, though, we have been able to increase our general funds to provide 25% in the past 3 years. So we've been able to grow that and stay well below the budget. We have only spent less than 25% of this year's budget, and we're already almost 8 months in. So,
Good to that.
All right.
Increase is always a good thing, as long as it's not in the midsection.
Yeah.
Does you have any questions or anything else?
Yeah. Any more questions on that or anything?
We will close the hearing on that portion.
So I will close our budget hearing for 2026 budget. All right. Go to the fun part. Public comments.
We have 2 people wanting to speak this evening that have signed up, Stan Trimble and then Dwight Hunt.
And we'll let you go first.
Okay, first of all, I have some questions, and most of these questions, probably all of them will be directed at your code enforcement officer or to your code enforcement officer.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, Dan, if you could speak up just a little bit, or if you don't mind standing, we do have to broadcast. So I have, just to get a little bit better audio. Thank you.
As I was saying, I had some questions, and I wanted to direct those toward the code enforcement officer. There's been pictures, of course, taken of my property. I want to know when those pictures were taken. And if you don't have an answer today, if you could have the answer by the next meeting, I'd appreciate it. That's the first set of pictures and the second set of pictures. I want to know who took the pictures. I want to know who complained, the name of the persons that complained. What was their complaint? what specifically on my property is in violation of town ordinances? How many people since January of 2025 have been cited? And of those, how many have received a fine? Do you have a copy of the pictures that I received? You probably don't have, what's correct? So we can answer that one way or the other right now. You don't have a copy of those pictures, with you, do you?
Can you hear what he's saying?
Can't hear you, I don't think.
So do you have the copies of the pictures that you provided Dan Trimble of
Yeah,
his
they
property?
mailed and
And I printed those. He
Yeah.
wanted to know who took them,
I did.
when.
Okay, so you probably didn't hear anything I had to say.
No, that's-
let me come over real close, come over hard here.
Okay, first thing, when were the pictures taken? The first picture, then the second pictures.
The first picture was taken before you got 2 notices tacked to your door, okay? Those pictures were taken day prior to that first notice.
So when was that?
On
January.
July 3rd was the due date on it. Let me go get my file, I'll take it.
Do you guys wish to? While he's receiving that, Dan, is there other questions?
Yeah, I do have a question to direct for the town council. Even with all this question being said, I did receive one letter, certified letter in the mail. I believe it was in January, I don't think it was in July. And then I found this posted on my door here the other day, about a week ago. And it was a fine for $100. It's a doubling of the first fine. My question to the town council here is, what actions can I take to mitigate or waive this fine?
Okay, what I'm looking at right here is the due date on the one that I gave you, the first one. The due date to come in and pay it was on July 3rd. Okay?
The pictures were taken the day before that original. I received this stuff in January, not July.
Well, I took more.
Yeah, well, you took some more.
I took more of the hot wire.
Okay, so you're saying July of this
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
Okay, that's the ones that I just recently received.
Yeah.
I mean, the first pictures, when were they taken?
Those were taken right prior to your July
Of what year?
2020 or 2025.
Okay.
I got your first notice here too. The
If
second
I,
notice,
if I remember right, that day, there was snow on the ground.
yeah, I called
And these pictures, none of them had snow
you. Right. I went out there and looked at it. And, as a matter of fact, I talked to you on the phone, said, I want to go over and walk your property. He said, yeah.
on it. I'm trying to point something out here. The pictures that you sent me were pictures with no snow.
Right. Those were.
If you took them a day before the notice.
No, I took them the day before the one that.
Okay. You took them right before I got these notices. It had snowed on that day. If you took them on that day, there's
No,
no
you're
snow
right. I
pictures.
said I took the pictures the day before. I sent you the one that was due date in July.
Okay, what about the ones in January? When did you take those pictures?
Those would have been taken prior to your property was pointed that way.
Okay.
But now I called you and come down.
When was that? When was that? When did it?
Exact date?
Interest.
I'm not sure exactly what they did with your current, but let me point something out to you. So pay attention to what I'm gonna say. You came in and bought that property, and you come down here to the town board, and you come in here and you wanted to be relieved of that money owed on that property, that lien, back bill. Two of these gentlemen sitting here will verify, and a third one will verify that you promised them that if they would forgive the bills on that property, that you would make it a show place. That's what you said. And it's progressively got worse. Well, I believe 3 gentlemen that was on the town board will sign an affidavit to that effect. And we got the day you come in there, the town was good enough to forgive you,
Well,
okay? So I'm not done yet,
Okay,
all right? So all that property done, it went downhill. It went downhill, so I got better like you promised the town board. These gentlemen, two of which were here when they forgave the debt owed on that property, so you could purchase it. Your words was, so you could purchase it. They forgave you, okay? So my point of it is the properties digress. And who calls and what time and who complains? Me. Okay? I got eyes, I can see it, that's my job,
okay.
all right? It's getting worse. Let me ask you another question. Do you pay water bill down there?
No, I do not.
Do you pay a sewer bill?
No, I do not.
Do you know you're required to pay even if you don't use it for a hookup?
I'm not hooked up to it.
Huh?
I am not hooked up to it at this time.
You got it there. Better look at it, talk to these gentlemen about it. You're going backwards and you're breaking your word. And you want to come down here and question me, for I'm trying to get this property cleaned up for the community. That's my job. You're not the only one, Mr. Trimble, that I'm citing. That property over there was an eyesore. It's been tore down. A new owner's got it, and it's cleaned up. We're gonna make this town look better.
Good.
Okay? You can't, all you've done down there was take piles of rubbish and cover it with tarpaulin. That's not satisfactory. Okay? So, don't sit here and tell me when you've come down and been forgiven for a debt owed on that property. If these gentlemen want to, they will sign a memorial letter that you made that promise when they come in here and forgive it. There's minutes of the meeting when that day happened. And you have not done anything to approve that property. I do get complaints that you got groundhogs digging up under the house, running around over there. You got a bus that's got caved in on the top. I don't even, did you ever get a title from that from California? Is that vehicle registered at home?
That's irrelevant.
Do you know we just towed 4 vehicles off of our property because they're not registered legally in the state of Indiana?
Good.
Have I been down there and hooked the record up and sold that off your property? Mr. Trimble, what you gotta do is you gotta be grateful for how this county treated you so far and not try to nitpick. I've been reasonable. You were notified January of last year and it's not gotten any better.
Are you done, sir?
Yeah,
Okay. First of all, I don't think these men can sign a memorial and be truthful about what you said, they said, or that I said. I, at the time, didn't know whether I was gonna tear the house down. This gentleman right here, can't think of his name right now. I talked to him, no, not you, you weren't even, you weren't even in the scene at that time. Jerry was, and there was another older gentleman, and, this gentleman. I said I didn't know whether I was gonna fix it up or tear it down. So I didn't say that it was gonna be a showcase. First of all, the place sat vacant for 15 years. As Mr. Dwight here would know, grass growed up, Christian church went down there and tore up a piece of equipment trying to mow it to keep it looking decent. So the place has got better. I boarded the windows up so that people couldn't go in and out. And it is my business who complained, what the complaint was, and what specifically on my property is in violation of town ordinances. I need to know these questions, the answers to these questions. Because apparently we're gonna have to go farther unless these gentlemen can tell me what I can do to alleviate the concern. I need to put up a fence where it can't be seen from the road.
Well, I think we have no problem showing you what you're in violation of, and if you repair those
Okay, I
things,
wanna know what those things are.
we'll
Specific.
provide that specific.
Because they were vague, very vague. The first thing I got was very vague about what it was. And the pictures was kind of vague, you just took pictures of the whole place. Now, this last time, we took pictures of particular piles of stuff. Second thing, I didn't take rubbish and covered up with a tarp. They're brand new, and of course, Mr. Fritschbaum said they're not new anymore because they've been there for over 6 months. Nevertheless, I purchased them brand new from Lowe's. That's not rubbish.
Mr. Creekbump said what?
You said that they weren't new anymore when we talked, because I had them for more than 6 months. So this is not rubbish. This is unreasonable. He said he's reasonable. This is not reasonable. When you call something that's new or was purchased new and call it rubbish.
Sit down.
This is all this stuff is building materials that I have on the property.
And have you built
I
anything
plan
with it?
that I plan on using. That's irrelevant to you when or how I'm gonna use that.
No, it's not real relevant.
Yes, it is, because it is my property. I purchased it. Everything there I purchased, and I can come up with receipts for it. I don't pick it up at the local dump, so it's not rubbish.
So you
The
just
place
pick,
has
you
that.
buy stuff and you just stack it out in the yard.
Stuff that I'm gonna use, yes, I can. And the other thing that I would like is, Mr. Creekbaum said that he had eyes and he's the one that complained. But when he took those pictures, he had to be in my backyard. He didn't have my consent when he took those pictures in July.
Well, I'll be the first one to say that there's been multiple complaints.
But I
Not
understand,
from him.
I understand that.
The multiple complaints is what triggered him to go.
But that all being said, he took the pictures and he's got eyes and he's seen that. He's the one that complained, he said. He didn't say other people complained, he said he did. The gentleman right next to me, it's Mr. and Mrs. Taylor, complaining about him, trying to get you guys to do something about it. That nothing apparently has ever been done. Has he received a fine for all the mess that's in his backyard
Yes.
that you can see?
Yes,
Yes.
and they,
So as long as you pay, you're okay.
no, we want them.
I turn it over to these gentlemen.
No, I mean,
They receive fines.
there's been several fines. You're not the only one. We've not singled you out in any way, shape, or form.
And I understand.
There are several. I mean, the fines go out normally monthly. The fines will go out and, there's been a few that's complied and then there's been a few that's not. And they get another fine. And that's the way it's been. We've got to do something. I know for years we allowed things and nothing was getting done. People would come to board meetings and complain. Nothing ever happened. We've hired an enforcement person and we're gonna track down and we're gonna clean the town up and we gotta be stringent. We've gotta do it the right way.
Yeah, but we don't have to be unreasonable about it. Yeah. New material you call rubbish, that's beyond the pale. That's not reasonable.
I don't think that there was anything unreasonable about how many notices have you had?
We're talking about the material, not the notices, we're talking about the material. To me, it's unreasonable for anybody to say, come and say this stuff on my property is rubbish, when it's stuff that I purchased, and it's good stuff. Trash is something that is discarded, and that's the end of life. This is not the end of life of this material. So the bottom line is, do I need to put up a fence to where it can't be seen? That would be reasonable. Do I get a building to put it in? That would be reasonable. But Mr. Creekbaum, oh, you just gotta get rid of that stuff. We want to go around town and tell everybody to get rid of their property.
No, but if the property looks like it's got piles of trash or covered up with tarps and strung out all over the place, then we want it cleaned up. We want it to look orderly.
Oh, okay, sir. We done established the fact that this is not rubbish. It's new material, not all of it. I'll be upfront and honest about it. It's not all new material.
We haven't established that, Dan. Because
You
we
have
haven't
the
been down,
pictures.
we haven't been down there and looked at it or anything like that, whether it's new material or old material,
Okay?
okay? That hasn't been established. You've got these warnings and you haven't abided by it. We have ordinances. when you bring in trailers, camping trailers, how many you got down there?
What's that?
Camping trailers.
Camping trailer, got one RV and one camping trailer.
One camping trailer, and one RV.
Yes.
You don't have two camping trailers. Are they licensed?
The one is, the one is not.
Which one's not?
The RV.
The RV. So you're out of compliance right there.
What is
That
that?
should be hauled off. As far as we're concerned, that's an abandoned vehicle. Because you don't have any plates on it, you can't show any insurance on it. You have those buildings, I think you've got 3 of them that you drug in down there.
There's two.
There's 2, okay, 2. You have 2 buildings you drug in down there. Where did they come from?
Came from a place in Brazil.
A place in Brazil? What place? Was it your place?
I'm sorry?
Was it your place?
No, it wasn't my
It
place.
wasn't your place.
No.
You bought them, then brought them in down there.
Yes.
What was the idea of that? I mean, you can't just start bringing in that type of thing and putting them on that ground. You have neighbors, they have rights. They shouldn't have to look at all of that setting over there that doesn't need to be there, that you're out of compliance with. Then 2 buildings, I don't know exactly what those 2 buildings are. Are they little homes or what?
There's storage.
They're storage?
There's storage. I have a whole bunk of,
Yes.
well, according to Mr. Creekbaum, according to you gentlemen, so you haven't established any difference. It's full of rubbish. But
We
it's
are,
actually material that I bought brand new at Walmart. It's sheeting.
nothing's
Goes
been
inside the house.
established because we haven't been down there to look. This gentleman will be down there to look. If you're saying that's material, good building material,
He's
you
already
you have
been
no problem showing that,
there.
right?
He's already been there.
Has
Why?
he seen what was underneath the tarp?
Yes, he's seen what's underneath the top.
It's junk lumber.
That is
You
not
have the
building.
pictures, sir? You have those pictures?
No, but I got a memory.
Do you have the, you don't have the
No,
pictures?
that's right.
Okay, the next time, the next council meeting, I'll bring them and I'll show you what's under that tarp. And we will establish whether it is junk lumber or if it's new material.
It doesn't matter what you got under that tarp. I'm not gonna have tarp scattered all over your property. That doesn't make it good enough. When you come into my office and talk to me for an hour, you call all of us tyrannical.
That's,
Because we were complaining, because we were complaining about your property. But just recently, I understand that you complained about some loud music. Now, are you being tyrannical?
what I call the difference between tyrannical and, reasonable, that's what our subject was.
I told you, you gotta get that property cleaned up. You got a fine in here that's due on 7/3, that's unpaid. You got another one that's due on 8/20. If that one's not paid, you're gonna get another one after 8/20. And I will keep sending them to you,
Okay.
all right?
So it sounds like we need to go to court over this.
But
Sounds what it sounds like. And as far as the subject of me complaining about somebody's loud music,
what's the
It was complained on.
condition of that house?
would you
by the
let me
way?
speak, sir?
What's the condition of that house, by the way?
Would you let me speak?
Go ahead.
Okay. On the subject of complaints about loud music, it was complained about my place first. About all the stuff that's there calling it all trash. I went to my neighbor about the, loud music and asked him if he would turn it down. He said, I might. Then he come over later that night and said, well, there's the town ordinance, noise ordinance. I don't have to turn this off till 11 o'clock at night. So I come in at 1:30 in the morning, one morning. I'm very rarely home. 'cause
You're a
I'm
liar.
working.
You're a liar.
I'm very rarely home because I'm out working.
I go to the house every night. You're a
Yeah.
liar.
So you do live there?
Yeah, he lives there in that bus.
You do live there?
Yeah, he does. He needs water bill paid, everything paid.
So you do live in that bus?
And then
You
you
said
get all the bills
Yes.
backwards.
What made you think that I was denying that?
Well, because
I said I am
you don't
very,
have water and
very,
sewer.
I said I am very rarely home. It is not hooked up.
Barely home. You never have a
I'm
fucking
very
life.
rarely home. I
You
worked,
liar.
last week I worked
Oh, you
55 hours.
lie.
I worked 55 hours.
I think you're a child molester.
I have on my phone the check stuff to prove what I'm saying. You can run your mouth.
Well, you can look at
But
your
I
head.
got receipts or
Prove that
check stuff
bus.
to prove how many hours I worked. I worked 60 hours. Then on Saturday, I went and helped my brother tear a house down.
Yeah.
Plus all the other properties that I have. Weed eating them and mowing them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a lot of stuff going on. Very rarely home. Should not be able to
Every
enjoy
night.
when I get home.
Every
Without
night.
having to hear this music. It's so, I didn't want to encroach on his rights.
Hell
I
no,
asked
you
him to
didn't.
turn it down.
I've been here forever.
He can still
You
hear
just
it.
got here. Move that bus.
I don't need to hear that
Yeah, you
noise.
do. You do it now.
Early in the morning.
You'll hear it every time you hear it.
Right,
I'm sorry.
hang on,
Calm down.
I'm
please,
sorry.
thank you.
And then after that, I had to call the police.
Yeah,
I went to my neighbor first. I went to my neighbor first and tried to solve this with my neighbor the right way. And it didn't do any good. When I come in at 1:30 in the morning and this music is so loud that I can't sleep, I called the police. There for a while, the loud, really loud music subsided for a while, and I appreciated that. Then I come home again, it's late at night, music blaring again. So I called the police again. Then after I called the police and they come out and talk to him that time, he sat over at his place, flipping me off, personally, calling me a pervert. That stuff's not right. That's unreasonable. That kind of stuff is unreasonable. For me to have stuff on my property, that I own, to me, it's unreasonable to say you gotta get rid of it. It's not hurt, that property is mine, it's what I paid for. I pay taxes on it.
I don't think anybody's.
The taxes are paid up.
I'm saying you gotta clean it up and not look like it's all stuff all over the place.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you, gentlemen. If I need to put it in a building, would that be the problem?
Mr. Trimble, first time we talked, I said, if you put it all inside of a building, I said, and it's not scattered all over the yard, get it all inside of a building, you said those buildings are already full. Now, the last thing I'll say to you too, is you went and got that bus in California. In January, you told me you were gonna get a title for that from California. California will give you a title just like that, and then you're gonna take and get a title in Indiana. Any vehicle that's sitting on the property that is not a motor vehicle, that is not registered and properly titled, can be towed away.
Off the private property.
And if we were tyrannical, we would have done it. Because we have towed other people's cars. I mean, we had 3 towed a couple of weeks
Well,
ago.
first of all, let me clear the air here. I was dealing with Mr. Creek all the time. I wasn't calling all of you gentlemen tyrannical. I will say that I appreciate, when I first came to town, that you worked with me, helped me. First of all, I should have had to come to the town council to get those fine, or that stuff removed from the property, because I want that at a tax sale. That's another thing. Anybody in this town that bought that for $50, I get it. If you want to control what somebody does on property, buy that property.
They didn't want to assume the liens on
I'm sorry,
it. They didn't want to assume the liens on
that you buy it at the tax sale, those are supposed to be, anything prior to the date that you purchased that is supposed to be gone. I shouldn't have had to come and got anything erased. I didn't do that to purchase the property. I already owned the property when I come to purchase it, Jim. To clear the record there.
When you buy something at a tax sale, it doesn't alleviate any liens.
Yes, it does.
Or it no, doesn't.
Sir, I'm gonna respectfully say you don't know what you're talking about. I've been to a lot of tax sales, and they tell you right up front, there's two different types of sales. There's a commissioner sale,
I've
which takes
served,
a year.
I have served as president of our city planning commission. For 4 years as president, so I know what I'm talking about, okay?
And if you're
I'm
saying,
not
what
just
you're
pulling
saying,
off the top of
you
my
don't
head.
know what you're talking about.
The property tax sale is
Jim,
county.
if you
This
call
is-
SRI, or the tax company that sells all the properties, mostly in the state of Indiana, they tell you that all the fines, anything that before the date that you purchase it, is wiped out. Anything after, you owe for it. All of these fines was from the gentleman that owned it before, which was actually $22,000. Well, that's including, that is including the property taxes, but the majority of it was water and sewer fines, and I don't know what all other kind of fines.
If that was the case, Dan, why did you come to the meeting asking us to forgive it?
Because may I
Because you
interject here,
sent me a
because
letter.
that information, those dollars would have accumulated after the liens would have been put on. That's what the software says in there, and that's what the records.
Well, it may say that, but it was all accrued before I got there.
Because there were separate ones that got done through the tax sale, through the liens, and then anything here, because we have a couple places here, once we put a lien on your property, you can still have service and continue to get service there for just wastewater only, because a person cannot disconnect their own wastewater, it's already there. Does that make sense? Like water, we can go turn it on or off, or wastewater, we can't, it's already there. It's,
It
so
hadn't
it
been
doesn't
used for
matter
15
if
years.
you have a well or not.
Would it have
But
been
this
used for 15
particular
years?
case, and what you asked for was
So where do you go
costs that
with
were accumulated, that was not part of that 21,000, whatever that the county had that.
Well, but what I'm saying is, from the date that I purchased the property at the tax sale, I am responsible from there forward. All of these things, whatever amount it was, should have all been wiped out. Should have already been sent to the county and should have been included with the 22,000. Anything after that, totally different. After I purchase it, actually, I say after I purchase it, there is a waiting period, it's like 4 months. And if I remember right, I can't remember, what it was around $2,000 or something that was supposed to be owed, still owed against it. Was it $2,000 or $4,000 or something like that? So the 4 months would not have accrued $4,000 in water and sewer bills.
It is 110.01 or 110.05 a month, and that's the minimum if you do not have
Right,
water here in town. And so in the meantime, what year was that again? Was that 2023?
2022 or 23, I can't remember.
So I'm just gonna even say it's been 24 months, right? So at this point in time, that's all bills that you haven't paid for or haven't been billed by there. $12,400.
Okay.
So we do need to establish that as well, since you have approached the council, because we do not have a policy, we do not have anything in place with you saying where we're gonna be sending this bill, where we're gonna be sending your information, but because you live there, because the service has already been established, you will have to pay a wastewater bill and a stormwater. So that will equal 110.01 actually a month.
Okay.
You said that you do live there, right, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've established
He
that.
lives there.
So we do.
So
We
we have
will receive your
established that.
For sure. We'll need to establish that.
And when I came, there was an agreement whether I was going to tear the house down, or once I started living there, then I would start paying water and sewer. So up to that point, there shouldn't have been anything accrued. That's what I heard from you and this.
I don't
When I
remember
I
that.
take that back. I take that
You wanna
back.
take
It
that?
might have been,
So how long have you lived there?
what was the other council name?
Andy,
I think it was around October of 20, I think it was around October of 23.
So, Dan, how long have you lived there?
October 23.
Since October 23, you have lived there since then.
End of us.
So that's established. October 23, he started living there.
Okay.
But as far as our ordinance go, you just can't bring in a motorhome, no title, no registration or anything like that. Because you have other residents around you, across the street from you. And you just, that's why we have these ordinances, because they have rights too. They don't want to look at your motorhome, the house that you supposedly was going to fix up, that was part of what we talked about when we gave you that. And we haven't seen no improvements. And obviously, this house is still hooked to the sewer system. It would have had to be.
No, it's not. Hadn't been for a long.
Well, it
Where could you go to
could,
the bathroom?
Station.
if
At
it's not,
1:30 in the morning?
Well, whenever I need to use the bathroom.
if it's not
It's closed at
Look.
10 o'clock.
No,
to
not
the
this
sewer
one,
system,
sir.
somebody
Let
had
me
to.
clarify. Sometimes the Speedway in Greencastle, sometimes Casey's and Cloverdale, sometimes McDonald's.
Did you disconnect that from this?
No, I did not.
You
It's
did
already
not.
disconnected.
It was already disconnected.
Yes.
From where?
Disconnected from whoever, and I think it was Randy Bell that went in there, because the guy told him he had a place. If he would pay the back bill for it. So he went in there and it demolished it. And you said there's been no improvement. I'm sorry. That is not a correct statement. I tore the back two rooms off, which looked terrible. Somebody took a saw and cut off the bottom. I don't know why they done it, but they cut the bottom of the building, the back two rooms. Those are gone. I put new OSB on the back of the house where I tore those off. So there has been not enough improvement, but there has been
How
improvement.
many years have you owned that dam?
Since, what was it, 23, no, not 23, it would have been 22 or 23, so. I don't remember exactly.
That's been longer than that.
Longer than that.
It's been longer.
Well, I may have owned it on that, but I mean, I'm just talking about.
Well, we asked you how long you owned it.
But I'm trying to point out, everybody's saying there's not been no improvements there. And I
Have you
told them
painted the house?
worst
Since
ugly
you
part-
moved in there, have you painted that house?
I'm sorry,
Have you painted that house since you moved in there?
no, but I have tore off,
Have you roofed that house since you've been there?
I have taken and put tarp over it, not tarp, but black paper over it.
Have you put any drywall up inside?
I put
You
OS
improved it?
I took all of the old plaster out of it, all of the old plaster on the walls is all gone. And that's what, with my
So you
step.
haven't done anything other than that, right? As far as the plaster?
Other than tearing the back part of the house off, which apparently doesn't seem to be any improvement at all. Other than putting the OSB, brand new OSB on the back of the house, which apparently doesn't seem to be any improvement at all. And tearing all the plaster off of the walls, which doesn't seem to be any improvement at all.
These small houses that you drug in there, what would you say the condition they were in, right, when you brought them in there?
The one that's up toward the front, on the road, it does need the flooring worked on, but other than that,
Are they on the ground? Are they off the ground? Are they
well,
on
I've
runners?
got a skid, there's skids underneath.
Skid.
Big skids.
So what generally happens when something's off the ground like that, different types of animals that like to get underneath of it, dig, things like that?
Well, to my knowledge, I did have a problem with the groundhogs, I don't know where they're coming from exactly. But I have seen them come out of the house on the other side of me to the south. And I have seen them going in and out under Randy's place. But I have got it to where they can't get underneath my house. They haven't been getting underneath the house. I haven't seen them for a while.
So we're establishing these buildings that you brought in there was not in very good condition when you brought them in, right?
The one building, the other building is in decent shape, the off one, it was not.
And they're on runners and
Yes,
animals can get up underneath of them. And a lot of different things that animals have diseases, you have different, cats and skunks and all.
Let me ask you, Mr. Sherman, what year is that motor on?
2011.
2001?
11,
11.
yes.
You know, the town has an ordinance, my understanding, gentlemen, you can read it from it, that you can't bring in a trailer or anything like that to live in it if it's older than 10 years old.
Okay, well, I wasn't aware of that.
Huh?
I wasn't aware of that.
You are now.
And
And also, to have a motorized vehicle sitting on your property with no valid registration, no valid title. You said you had to get a title from California, you haven't got one yet. You said you were gonna, and then you told me that in December, or January. Sitting right there in my office.
Okay.
You haven't got that yet. And you said as soon as you got it, you're gonna take it and get a title. And you wanna say we're unreasonable?
okay.
You wanna say,
Let me update you.
catch your months,
Let me
how
update you, Mr. Creedlaw.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, and I will give you my final word on it. That property's not cleaned up, you're gonna get another violation. And if you don't pay that, you're gonna get another one. And then the only way that we are gonna be able to collect that is I'm gonna recommend that they put a lien on your property. All right? Because if you don't clean that up, and I asked you when you were down here, and I said, get that stuff picked up, put it in the house. You said the house is full of junk. You can't put it in the house. Well, if your house is full of junk,
No.
how are you gonna work on it?
Mr. Creedlaw, you're putting words in my
No,
mouth.
I'm telling you exactly.
No, you're not. Now you're lying.
No, don't.
I said I
Don't
had
go there.
building materials. I'm going there because that's what you just done.
Yeah.
I said there were building materials in that house. If you remember right, I said insulation and plywood.
Okay, I just told you, this is what my course of action is. My course of action is you have an unlicensed, unregistered motor vehicle in the state of Indiana, it's not permitted. You told me it drives, you told me it runs,
Sure
you
does.
drove it here from California,
Sure does.
okay? You're possessing a vehicle, we don't even know the origin of it. And Indiana really likes to know the origin of a motor vehicle.
I have paperwork for that. Or
The trailer in the back,
the proof where it came from.
the trailer in the back, that's many more years older.
Yes, and while we're at it, I didn't want to have to get into this. But while we're at it, you lied again. You said you took pictures or looked in the back of that camper, the one that's behind the house, and didn't see any plates. It is plated, it's registered,
That was a snow day, I'll give you.
and it was snow,
Yeah,
so you didn't go and look at that day. You
I'm
lied.
sure I did.
No, you
But I
didn't.
told you the pictures I took was before. the
There's
snow.
no footprints in the snow that's behind that camper, so you couldn't.
I'm sure it was.
Okay, we can't go on about the
No.
footprints in the snow, but Mr. Creekmom will cite specifically what the issues are that he requires as a town to be taken care of.
Well, I need to know everything that I'm in violation of.
That's what he will.
There's two pictures that he took. The
He will
first,
provide new pictures with new stuff.
You guys can schedule a time to
Right,
meet in his
we can do that.
office.
okay, I want answers to all, I want to know who complained, you said there was a lot of
Me.
people that complained.
Me,
No. There was a lot of
we
people
have
that
taken
complained.
me.
There was a lot of people that complained, oh, well then, why didn't you complain about all the other properties?
I do.
That needs work.
I
Like your
know.
house down here, the porch was falling all to pieces. Somebody has bought it. They tore the porch off.
He
And it's been several
condemned
months
it and
ago.
forced him to tear the porch off, just like he did with this place, just like he did. You're not the only one. You're the only one that's come in. But he's been dealing with this with several people for the last several months.
Right, but if we're gonna enforce it, we need to enforce everything.
You know, Mr.
We
Chairman,
are.
what you need to do is worry about your property, I'll worry about the other property.
No, that's the thing that officials a lot of times like to say. Mr. Trimble, we're talking about you, not somebody else.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Okay? When you're talking about me, you're talking about a United States citizen. And the laws and the ordinances of the United States, the state, the county, and the town are all shared by every citizen. So if you tell one citizen, this is what you gotta do, you gotta tell every other citizen, this is what you gotta do, and you gotta enforce it equally. You can't say, okay, Mr. Trimble, you gotta get rid of all your stuff, but Mr. Bell doesn't have to get rid of his stuff. Gentlemen, and I ain't got anything against those people that bought the house, that's great, that's free enterprise. But if we're gonna complain about houses, there's a whole lot more houses than just the handful that you mentioned that needs attention, that you could say needs attention. It's like the grass that grows really, really tall in lots of people's yards, and I'm talking about tall. Sometimes I do get behind.
But you're saying that nothing's done about that, and you don't know that. You don't know that we've not said and told and done. So what you're saying means nothing because you don't know what we're doing.
There's been
Well, that's why I
30 notices sent
asked.
out this year.
That's why I asked this question, so that I can be informed, sir. Do you have, or
It's not our responsibility to tell you any resident that we have fined or not fined. It's not for you to
Okay.
say that.
okay.
You are not,
Oh,
that doesn't,
Can
you don't have the
refresh my
right to
memory?
know that.
What's your name?
Meredith Trusting.
Okay, Meredith. This is really getting ridiculous. You do have to supply me with that information because it
No, we
is public.
don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Okay, I went around with the Owen County Commissioners about this one time, and the attorney told them, you don't have to give him that information. Well, lo and behold, I filed the Freedom of Information Act, and he tried to secretly say he could have that information. I waited till the end of the meeting and told him to tell the commissioners what he told me. I could have that information. It's a matter of public record. You can't deny that. If I have to file a Freedom of Information Act, I will do so.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think you should do everything
You're
you say.
not, you're invading the right.
Just rest assured, I'm gonna do everything I'm telling you. And I'll let you know when I'm gonna tell that bus away, so you can disconnect it from the power pole, okay?
And we also
So,
need
go ahead and
to
do it. Go
see
ahead and do it.
where that their sewer line has been disconnected. Because if you are gonna live
It was
there,
already disconnected when I got there, Meredith. It was not hooked up. Whoever
We
had
need
demolished the
to
back
see
part of that
that.
house.
the town needs
Well, I'd
to see
say that
that.
Mr. Freepon probably seen that, because he's seen the really shallow place there that he wanted to know what it was all about, so I could trip on it. In it, and this and that and the other.
Yeah, we
So he
need,
had to see that.
we need to establish where this here sewer line has been cut and capped off.
It is capped off. It wasn't when I got there,
How do you know that it's capped off?
because I capped it off personally.
That's not what you said earlier.
No.
Well, here's the thing, everybody in this town pays the water and sewer bill, whether they're using, whether they have if they don't have water, they still pay a sewer bill, whether they're using it or not. And just like you just said, everybody has to comply,
Okay.
including you. So she needs your information to send the bill to start getting
I
you
think
billed.
she already has all
No, she don't. And she needs you to give that to her tonight before you leave, so she can get your bill in the mail. And then we're gonna get you a copy of the ordinance about the mobile homes that can't be lived in over 10 years old. They cannot be put in this town. So you're gonna have to do something about that,
Well, when was that ordinance put into place?
way before you got here. Way before you got here, and we'll get that for you.
Well, and that's another thing that I thought about. Before I got here and had anything here, Mr. Bell had his mess. He still got his mess. He wouldn't move it so that the property could be surveyed for Mr. Taylor. He's actually got stuff that's encroaching on my place.
And Jim's working on that. It's being worked on.
Well,
But he's just like you. He's stubborn and don't want to do what you're supposed to do.
now wait a minute.
So we gotta work with him just like we're gonna work with
Well,
you.
now wait a minute.
And we're really getting tired of you.
When he come down and told me that I needed to do this and that, there has been something done. There was something done that next day. I took a bunch of stuff away from him.
It's really looking beautiful down there. Go down there and ask any of your neighbors. And that shed you got parked right up in that lady's front door, right at the edge of the property line, it's sitting there like this. It looks like crap.
Mr. Trimble, you know the big way to solve your problem? If you spent the energy to comply with the ordinance, as you are coming down here and wanting to argue about it, it would already be done.
Well, I'm just asking what needs to be done, and I want to know, in other words, who's been cited since January, and how many of them have received a fine. And then if you told, and I don't know if you told other people's things off or not, whether they got rid of themselves, that's either here or there for me. But if you're gonna show something off my place, you need to show something off everybody's place.
That's what we're doing, so we don't have an issue with that.
Again, back here by the cemetery, which I have got nothing against personally, but he's got Bluetooth in vehicles and stuff. Like, you see it from the road, it looks bad. Or you wanna start complaining about it. Is anything being done about that?
If the foundation is falling anymore, the back of the house has been ripped off. There's animals going in and out. It's a public nuisance. I'm just dealing with one, turning it over to the health department. You don't want that involved. Okay? Then you'll really think I'm a mean guy. But you let that place keep going like that, there's nothing more we can do than request it to be condemned.
Okay. And while you're condemning that place, we're gonna have to condemn all of
It
them.
was a good faith effort. Try to clean that up. Because after the 20th, I will be coming down with another citation. If it's not cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that you're still under this impression this is only about you. And it's not, I'm telling you, it's not. We have condemned at least two, all working on a third, maybe a fourth, in the last 6 months. So this is not just about you.
Did that gentleman, that owned that place, that he sold to the guy behind him, the house that was sold down?
Yes.
Did you guys have that done, or did you have that done?
He did,
They had it demolished.
he did.
He paid for it.
Okay.
We did.
New property owner.
Okay, so that wasn't an action by the board.
We condemned it, we condemned the house, and then he sold it rather than tearing it down. So we weren't involved in that, so. But we've got, well, there's several, so. But we're gonna move on. He will provide you with the information you've asked, and do this again at the next meeting if you guys want to, but I'm gonna carry the meeting forward. Any more public comments?
Right.
Sure.
The wife.
Well, I'm tired of him. I think he's watching the girls next door. I think he's a pervert. You like that
That's
now?
false accusation.
No, you're right. You look at through the doors and the windows and stuff, these little girls next door. I've seen, I've watched
You're a
them.
liar.
You're a liar.
Hey, this
Okay.
this is.
I got to tell him what I got to
This
tell
is a
him.
meeting, this is a domestic issue, that's not about,
That actually gets into the, that's defamation.
this is a town meeting, this is
And I've
not
got
about
witnesses
that.
now.
Well, the girls was watching you. That's what they told me.
The girls is watching me.
Watching you, because you was watching them. And they said, well, what they
You know what,
watching you
if
for?
somebody walks in front of me, how can I help but not see
Well, when
it?
you're sitting in the damn road.
But I'm not going,
Oh, sure you are. That's why you got your curtain all cocked out like that.
Town meeting, well, this is not, let's not do that part. Dwight, you have anything else?
Mr.
No,
Dwight,
he just paid that.
Mr. Dwight,
Thank you.
let's be so.
I am.
Did you guys have one?
I had a couple of questions, yes. As far as the sidewalk goes and the road goes, you said that it's continuing all the way down the road tracks and coming back.
No.
The road is.
Sorry, yes, the road. And then the sidewalk, it jumps from the east side to the west side. I've got a big tree. We live at 330 Red Brick Porch. My name's Jaren, by the way. This is my wife, Megan.
Jim,
Jaren,
Jarrien. Milkovich.
yeah, Malak.
Milkovich.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
You're next door to Charlie.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
We've lived here for almost 2 years now.
January 24,
what is your address?
3:30.
Yeah, 330 north.
330?
We've got a pretty large tree that's in the front, and I don't think it's impeding into the sidewalk at all. But would I need to do something about that, or would,
It's kind of messy with the sidewalk right now.
yeah, it's already, if you walk through our driveway, it needs a lot of work, and I work more than 55 hours a week, so it's kind of hard to do things in my house.
Like that as a potential.
Well, I think you might be seeing it wrong, because where they've got that stake,
It's a 2 foot offset, is what I was saying.
yeah, that's the edge of the easement.
Oh, okay.
So that's not
Where the sidewalk's actually gonna be
Farther and
further out, I think. I think I'll come down there and make sure, but I'm pretty sure.
We'll check it out. and-
Also, if you've noticed, well, you'll notice it now, but our front yard, part of the easement, there's quite a buildup of asphalt, gravel, things like that from the potholes. Is that gonna be taken care of as far as the road goes too?
That should be all cleaned up.
Yeah.
Next week, hopefully by the end of the month.
Okay.
Because,
We want to have a nice transition to your driveway from the street,
So-
so that'll be all.
Is that remnants from when they put the storm sewer in?
I mean, part of it is, when we
Yes.
bought the house, it was pretty bad when we bought
They
the
gave
house.
us an easement.
Yeah, that needs to go.
And then also, I would like to do an addition on our house, and I just curious about permits, things I need to get, and go ahead and do it.
You're good. Um,
I have one other question. You guys recorded this meeting?
It's live,
Okay.
it's on YouTube.
Good. I'm probably gonna need some witnesses.
All right, that's it for public comments. All right, we have our fund report. For the month. The bills.
For all three of those categories.
Yeah, we'll do this all in one, fund report adjustments and claims. Does anybody have any changes or requests, or anybody want to make a motion to approve?
Make a motion, we approve.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, approval. Sorry. Eight oh eight, and the meeting is adjourned.
come on, man.
I just need a copy of the attendance.
She needs to get your